Welcome back to the Crazy Confidence Coach podcast, and I am here to talk to you today about confidence and why you don't feel confident. Do you struggle to feel confident? And when you do all the things like work out, dress nice, and get your nails done, you still feel like you're just not enough. If you've been around the podcast long enough, you know that I believe that this is mostly tied up in your thoughts about you, but that can be so broad, and honestly, it doesn't help you narrow down what you specifically are thinking about or doing that's preventing you from being that confident version of you. So today, I want you to come with me on episode 59, and I'm going to give you 5 ways you're unknowingly giving away your confidence. If you work on 1 or 2 of these in the next week, I promise you could see an increase in your confidence almost immediately. Welcome to the Crazy Confidence Coach podcast. I'm on a quest to help you find the most confident version of you. I help women become the most authentic version of themselves by helping them find clarity around who they are and who they want to be. My goal is to help women sift through all that noise that they have in their head about who they should be or who they shouldn't be, and create a plan to be exactly who they want to be. You don't have to continue to live with anxiety, high stress, and overwhelm. You can little by little get back to a place of peace and live with more contentment than you ever thought possible. You don't have to merely survive day to day. There is a life waiting for you, thriving. Grab your coffee, your favorite colored pen, and a pad of paper because we're headed out to find your confidence today. Let's get to it. What are the 5 reasons you don't feel confident? The first is that you are waiting. You spend your time waiting on permission, the right time, the right place, the right person, waiting to feel better or whatever. The bottom line is you're not taking action. You have nothing to show as proof of concept that you're actually confident. The best question to ask is, what are you waiting for? Think about this with me for just 1 second. Every single person who does anything, who becomes anything, a doctor, a mom, a speaker, a podcaster, someone who gets married, someone who has a family, someone who has a college degree, someone who works out all the time, someone who's lost a lot of weight. Every single one of those individuals doesn't snap their fingers, and it's done. Every single one of them have to do action. They have to take action. And they didn't really just do it. They had to learn new skills along the way. They had to commit to doing it. And eventually they string all the skills together to create who they are and what they do. Look, there's no magic pill. You can't skip all the work, and there is no proof that you can do it until you actually have done it, or you actually have to do it. So you have to get uncomfortable. You have to take some uncomfortable action, and that's okay because you will survive. But eventually that proof of concept will come because you will have done something. So stop waiting for permission or waiting to do it until you have everything put together. Start working now. Take action now. Get the class you need to get done now. Proof will equal confidence, and proof requires action. So if you remember that you just need to move forward. Number 2, you're giving up too soon. When you take action and it doesn't go exactly as it's planned and you give up immediately, you're actually giving your brain this little check mark that you can't do it and that you're not capable because you can't work through the problems. So don't stop when something happens like that. When you hit a barrier, when you have a hill to climb, when something is going on, make sure that you keep working through it, because that giving up too soon just signals your brain that, I can't do it, and your confidence level will plummet. Keep working toward the goal. Keep working toward being your best you, even when you fail occasionally. And each time you take more action, especially if you take action past failure, you will become more and more confident during that process. So I think about I took a trip when I was younger out of college, and I went to Maui and we hiked Haleakala, which Haleakala is this huge mountain, and it's actually a crater, a volcano crater. And so or actually there's a crater on the other side of it. Anyway, I digress. But we were hiking at this 8,000 or however tall it is mountain, and I remember getting to the bottom, looking up and not being able to see the top. And they're like, this is where we're going to hike today. And it was, I don't know, something around 12 to 14 miles. There were switchbacks and you literally couldn't see everything. It was so huge. And I remember thinking, I'm not going to make it to the top. There's no way I can do this. I'm too out of shape. I'm going to die. I'm going to fall off the side of the mountain, whatever. But the group of us went ahead and we did this entire day hike and we made it. We had to stop. We had to adjust. One girl actually had to give up her backpack because she couldn't actually physically climb the mountain and carry the weight she was carrying. There was thankfully a gentleman in the group that was willing to take her backpack. I remember just being petrified during all of it here and there, and it was scary, but it was also amazing. And when we got to the very top, I can tell you, it was like one of these feelings that was like nothing I've ever felt before. And the only reason it felt that way was because of how hard it was. If we had had a helicopter drop us at the top, the feeling of how good it was to get there would not have been near as amazing if that hadn't happened. So don't, I guess, underestimate the value of all the things that you're going through to get to where you want to go, to build your confidence, to reach your goals, whatever. Don't give up. Just keep on going, because when you get there, it will feel so much better. I promise. Number 3, you're not taking time to celebrate. Look, you have got to stop and celebrate the little wins along the way. If you don't, you're not allowing your confidence to soak in. Imagine you're running a race that you have no markers along the way. And let's say you just keep running and running and running and running, and you have no idea how long you have to go. You have no idea how long you've been. You're really going to run out of gas at some point. At some point, you just kind of flag out and white flag and be like, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. But imagine that you're running, let's say a marathon. You're 26, I think it's 26.2. I don't know. I don't run marathons. I've done the Danskin, a triathlon, but nowhere near a marathon. But when you're running a marathon or any kind of race and you have a marker that tells you how far you've come, yay, I made that mile. Yay, I made that 2 mile. Take the time to celebrate that, even if it's a small celebration. It does not have to be expensive. It doesn't have to take a lot of time. It doesn't have to take a lot of energy, but it does need to check the box with your brain that, hey, I've done something good and I'm making headway here. If you don't take time to do that, you don't allow that confidence to soak in that I'm doing it. I'm capable. I'm doing the thing, even if it's hard. Harvard Business School studies have shown that when you celebrate the small wins, you actually have more motivation to keep going. So make sure to take the small wins, and of course you can have big wins along the way too, but don't allow yourself to get burnt out by just pushing through. Those rewards along the way matter. And if you really think about it, all of us can understand that, because think about Instagram or TikTok and you're going through the videos and scrolling. Why do you think you get addicted to that? Because you get dopamine hits along the way. These little reward centers are triggered by all the little fun things that you get to experience. The same thing goes for like playing a little game on your app or something. You don't just play the game indefinitely. You are given rewards and you conquer levels. There is a reason for that. It is because your brain is wired to actually respond to that and get addicted to that reward center. So here's one positive thing I want you to do by giving yourself rewards or celebrations that will reward your brain for continuing to be in action. Take the time to celebrate your small wins. Number 4, you're lying to yourself. All right, y'all, this sounds so bad, but if you spend your time putting yourself down, your inner dialogue is sounding a little bit like the Grinch, you aren't willing to see the good in you or in what's around you, then you need a little bit of VRT or vocabulary reset training. If you're a person who struggles in this area, hold on, because in the next quarter of 2025, I'm going to put out a course to help you with just this. Vocabulary reset is literally learning to change the way that you use words and the things that you create in your mind, because your mindset is created by your thoughts, and your thoughts are just compilations of vocabulary and what you say to yourself or to others. So here's what to watch out for. I can't, I shouldn't, I should have, I don't know how, they don't, she didn't, they make me, I will never be, they always, things like that. All those things are big flags that you are not being the best version of you. They are getting in the way of your confidence, and they are crushing your confidence because you're believing, one, that they're true, but you're also probably addicted to using them and using them as crutch. I really think that if you're someone who is in this arena and you're not very aware of it yet, or if you're becoming aware and you don't know how to change it, you need to hire a coach. Even if that coach isn't me, you cannot build the best version of you with this kind of vocabulary, and your brain will not know how to get out of it if you're not practiced at it or if you don't use some kind of tool. Again, the VRT tool will be out probably first quarter of next year, and that will be something simple you can sign up for, and it will be relatively inexpensive. So there's a tool that will be coming soon, but also go sign up for coaching. Sign up for a coaching call. Let's get you started on that process of getting out of that mindset that is keeping you stuck and keeping you in that confidence struggle mode. All right, number 5, and this one is hilarious because I got caught on this a lot. It's believing your own excuses. We end up stating our excuses about why we're not confident or why we're not good enough or why whatever. We make excuses in our brain, and they prevent us from doing what we need to do or what we want to do, and therefore we don't allow ourselves to be confident and vibrant because we believe we can't. And I think this is closely related to the vocabulary reset, but it is a little bit different because you can have an excuse that you've told yourself your whole life, and it will prevent you from becoming the most confident version of you. It's tricky because you believe it and you don't even know that it's what's preventing you. Not all of them. Sometimes you know the excuses like, oh, I don't have time. That is BS. I always call BS. Time is just a thing that we make choices around. So if you're telling yourself you don't have time for something, then you either are not a good time manager or you're just choosing to do something else. So make sure you're not believing your excuses, making sure that your excuses aren't keeping you from doing what you need to do, and think about what the excuse is. Think about it right now. What is an excuse you have that is preventing you from being more confident? What do you tell yourself that is holding you back? When you catch yourself using an excuse and you want to stop, then stop. Question the heck out of it. Be curious, George. Is it true? How is this not accurate? If it's currently accurate, what action could you take to change it today? Take action to make a difference in your own life and imagine it to be different, because that's the only way you're going to get to a more confident, vibrant version of you. Write down your excuses, and if you really want to, write your excuse down and either yourself or have a friend say that exact excuse to you. And what is your response? Are you buying the excuse? Is it set in stone? Is this excuse something you can't change? And if not, then you have a decision to make. Is it going to hold you back, or are you going to not let it hold you back anymore anyway? Move the excuse around in your brain, figure out another way to work around it if it's something that is truly holding you back. You get to make the choice, no judgment, but at least you're knowing that you're being real or you're just being scared. Oftentimes, that is what I find with a client, is that their excuses are a shield for something they have fear around. There's something that is scary to them or fearful for them, and that's why they've shielded themselves with an excuse. Or you'd have to give up something to let go of the excuse. Does that make sense? So if you actually let go of that excuse, what are you giving up? Comfort? Are you giving up money? Are you giving up some of your time? You can look at it that way too. All right. So I'm going to ask you this. What does your life look like if you are the most confident, vibrant, action-taking version of you? How do you walk? How do you dress? How do you show up to a party, to family? How do you show up to your husband or to your kids? How does that confident version of you exist in the world? Does she do the same things that you're doing today? How and where does she focus her time and her energy? How would you commit to being that new version of you? How would you commit to her? Would you give her more love, more affection, more self-care? Look, this is the time of year to keep going really deep with the hard questions. You need to peel back that onion of who you want to be and what kind of goals and actions you want to set and how you want to show up for 2025. This is the time to wrap up 2024. Take that energy and shake it off. 2024 is great or not. Either way, it doesn't matter. Celebrate it, move on, and then get a fresh start for 2025. This is your time. Don't aimlessly just float through the holidays without giving yourself the gift of a future you that is beautifully balanced, confident, and vibrant. It is possible that next year in 2025, you could become the most confident, vibrant version of you. Go down to the show notes and grab my planner for Plan Your Success in the show notes. It's one of the best planners you'll ever use, I promise. I say this every time because I believe it. If you work through the planner and you get prepared for 2025 and you actually go through the entire thing and you get stuff on your calendar, I guarantee you will be a more confident version of you at the end of 2025. And here's the great news. If you need someone to help coach you through 2025 to help you get the best out of what you've planned, I'm here for you. Go sign up for coaching. Go get the planner. We've got this. Enjoy your holiday. I know you're already in the holiday season. Go bake your cookies. Enjoy your kids. Enjoy your spouse. Enjoy your family. But also, in those moments when you're quiet, think about her. Who is she, the most confident version of you? All right, y'all. Have a great week. Thank you so much for listening in today. Will you do me the biggest favor? Will you just drop down and leave a 5-star rating or review if you haven't done so already? And don't forget, in the show notes, I always leave ways to connect to my freebies, my download for Plan Your Success for 2025, which is amazing and will help you get ready for the new year and get ready to build the most confident, vibrant version of you. And also, if you haven't, make sure you leave a review, go check out the website, because I do have a few other freebies that you might be interested in. Make sure to share with your friends and family that you think that they may also enjoy all the fun tips about confidence just like you. And until we meet again, until I see you next week, enjoy your week. Love you big.